What's up guys, Eric, Verus Engineering. Today it's hot as hell out, so we're gonna be talking about some cooling components on the Toyota Supra, as well as some engine bay parts. But first, let's move some cars. This right here is our Shop FL5. Let us know in the comments below what you'd like to see on it. So one of the first things we did with the vehicle was we opened up the hood, saw what we were working with. Saw a huge resonator right there. The reason why the resonator exists is actually to take out some of that turbo noise. And that's because OEMs have different desires than the aftermarket. The aftermarket loves the turbo noise. OEMs want a silent ride, so they're gonna take out all the intake and induction noise that they can. And we didn't really like the way it looked. We wanted a little bit more turbo noise, so we created a Blockoff. It allows us to make room for the air oil separator. It improved a little bit of turbo noise and keeps that engine bay looking less cluttered. So that was one of our first things that we did on this vehicle. We're able to put our air oil separator there, got a little bit more turbo noise. The air oil separator interrupts that crankcase vent, which normally goes straight from the engine to the intake, and allows us to collect that oil and that vapor in the can itself, keep it out of the intake, keep your turbo clean, keep your intake system clean in general. You can take a look at one of our videos regarding air oil separators here, and that goes through what an air oil separator does, as well as we take one apart and show you what happens in ours. As soon as we installed that air oil separator, the resonator delete, we saw that the turbo was just sitting right there. There's no heat shield, there's nothing encompassing the turbo to keep the heat where we want it, which is in the turbo and not into the intake. So we ended up developing a stainless steel heat shield for the 2-port and the 6-port. Our car has a 2-port, it's 2020. And by doing so, we keep the heat where we want it. We want to keep it around the turbo, keep the exhaust gases high, and then keep the rest of the engine bay cool, and that's what that heat shield does. We have those available in 2 different colors, titanium silver and black. Link in the description below. In addition to all that, we have our engine bay caps. All right, so we actually have a lot of cooling modifications on this car as well. We have a hood louver in the hood that helps evacuate hot air that's coming through the cooling stack. We have fender vents that are coming out very soon. Those help evacuate air out of the fenders, which have an aux cooler in them. So on both sides of a stock car, there's aux coolers, which help cool the engine. That's helping evacuate that air, and that's gonna improve cooling as well. We also have an intake duct, which ensures that cool air is making its way into the airbox, forcing its way into the airbox actually, so it actually probably sees a bit of pressure at speed. And then finally, we have an oil cooler kit that's coming out that's on the driver's side USDM that actually replaces the aux cooler, and we've seen on track that actually reduces coolant temps and oil temps. So it's a win-win. We're taking off the heat exchanger on the engine block, we're replacing it with an air to oil unit, and we're removing or deleting that aux cooler. A few people are running them right now, and we've seen really good results, so we're really excited to release that here shortly. To wrap all of that up, we actually have a brake master cylinder brace, which is kind of covered in that corner right there, which firms up the brake pedal and gives it a consistent feel on and off track. That encompasses what we've done in the engine bay for the 2020 Toyota Supra. We have some more parts that are coming out. We have some more development projects that are coming out with this car. If you have some suggestions on other things that we need to fix with this vehicle or we need to potentially develop, be sure to comment below on wherever you're seeing this. We appreciate those comments. We do actually listen and attempt to look into some of those. We can't do everything, but we do what we can. All right, guys, I gotta wrap this up because I got some VB brake cooling kit to finalize and figure out. Until next time.